Afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. My name is Aiden, and I am an operations specialist within the fulfillment team for Amazon South Africa. And I'm really excited and happy to be here today to talk to you all about fulfillment. So, the main goal of this session is to provide you with as much relevant information as possible to help you all get a better understanding of the options that's available to you and your business. But before we actually get into today's content, I do want to start off by taking a look at what it means to be launch ready. Cool. So Amazon has been live and active within South Africa now since the 7th of May 2024. So I want to go through a few important things you need to know and be doing right now to ensure that you are launch ready and able to make the most of this opportunity. So there's two main questions that's being asked on this particular page. So the first one is, have you listed your products? Now, in order to be active on Amazon and make sales, you have to have active listings, right? So if you're struggling with listing your products and require any sort of guidance, there is a listing series available on our YouTube channel where we cover the entire process in great detail. And you can also check for any upcoming webinars within Seller University, as that will be attended by subject matter experts on that particular topics, and they can answer any questions or concerns you may have regarding listing. Please also reach out to our seller support team through the help function, as they will also be happy to assist you with any listing concerns you might have. Now, once your products have been listed and is active on the Amazon platform, it's very important that you check the price and the quantity of all your listings. Now, I cannot stress this enough, because if your pricing and your quantity is incorrect, this will cause you to potentially cancel orders, and canceling orders does have a negative impact on your account health and will put your account at risk of suspension. Now, this isn't something that we want to happen, right? So please double check all your listings to mitigate any reason to cancel orders from your side. Now, you will also find that there's a PDF link within the slide called Product Details Page Recommended Guidelines. Now, this provides best practice tips on creating a product detail page that customers will love. So I highly recommend you download that guide and apply those practices, as this can help with your conversions. So basically the amount of customers that's viewing your orders and then placing orders from that page. Cool. So the second important question is, do you know how to fulfill your products? Now that is the main topic of today's webinar. But for now, what I would like to go into is just giving you a brief overview of fulfilling your products. So as a seller, you have a choice between either having Amazon fulfill your products or choosing to fulfill your products yourself, which means you would then be a part of the merchant fulfilled network. Now, the important thing to note about the merchant fulfillment network is that Amazon EasyShip is the default shipping option within the merchant fulfillment network. All right. So all eligible orders that comes through, if you decided to ship the products yourself, will be assigned to Amazon EasyShip. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Cool. So another point is, all sellers all seller accounts basically has a default handling time of 1 business day. So what that means is, if you receive an order today, you will have 1 business day to basically ship that product out to your customer. Now, missing that window will also impact your account health, as you would then ship a product out late, which impacts your late shipments. And this will also put your account at the risk of suspension, which again is something we really don't want to happen for you, because we want to make sure that all of our selling partners on Amazon are successful. Now, there's another 3 boxes over there, which is how to package and label your orders, how to manage returns, and when you will be defaulted to self-ship. Now, throughout this presentation, we will be covering those topics. So hopefully by the end, you will be able to mark them off as checked. Cool. So if you decide to go with FBA, so that's fulfilled by Amazon, knowing how to send your products to Amazon correctly plays a vital role, because your listings will only go live on the website once the items has been received at our warehouse and counted and stowed. And if that process is not followed correctly, this could lead to delays in your product going live and ultimately making sales on the Amazon platform. So if you would like to know more about this, please also register for one of the upcoming FBA webinars, or alternatively, watch any of the available FBA material on our YouTube channel, as they also go into the process in great detail and can definitely help ensure that you are sending your products correctly to Amazon. And then the last thing on this page is basically a link to account health where you can learn more about account health. There's a video overview which you can find by clicking on that link. So basically what it will give you is it will show you how the account health is monitored, the goals for each of the categories or the metrics that we look at, and then of course practices that you can put in place to ensure that your account remains in good health. So please do give that a look when you have some time. Amazing. So we've basically gone through what it means to be launch ready. So do ensure that you are able to basically check all of those boxes off, as that ensures that you are setting yourself up for success. Cool. So let's dive into today's agenda. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is understanding the various fulfillment options. So we'll be going through all of the fulfillment options available within Amazon. We'll be then diving into what is EasyShip specifically by looking at what the process is for Amazon EasyShip. We'll then go through what the rates and fees are that's associated to Amazon EasyShip. And then in events that you need to use self-ship, we will look at what that means, what it entails, and how you can set yourself up to ship items to the customers yourself. Cool. And then lastly, we'll have the FAQ at the end. Cool. So understanding the various fulfillment options. So in Amazon, there are 3 fulfillment options that you can choose from as a selling partner. So these are Fulfilled by Amazon, EasyShip, and last but not least, self-ship. Now, in some circumstances, you can choose to use a combination of these fulfillment methods as needed. You can determine which to use by taking into account variables like that of the size of your business, your product types, order volume, your processing capacity, and of course, the type of inventory that you are selling. So that's just a few. So let's take a look at what FBA is specifically. So with FBA, you ship your inventory to one of Amazon's fulfillment centers where we will store your inventory, and when an order is received for your product, we will pack it and deliver it to your customer. Now, the advantages of using FBA includes Amazon handling everything from packing to shipping your products to the customer, giving you more time to work on expanding your business. We also provide reliable, free, and fast delivery, which customers will love and trust. And we manage returns and customer support so that you don't have to. And we provide a consistent experience using our world-renowned customer service, therefore reducing the needs of worrying about processing customer returns, as our team goes ahead and takes care of that for you. Cool. So that is FBA. Now let's move on to EasyShip, the star of today's topic. So with EasyShip, this is a fulfillment option where you as a selling partner will store and pack the products yourself, and then hand that package over to one of the assigned carriers. And once we receive it, Amazon will then go ahead and deliver those products to the customer for you. Now, some of the advantages that you have with using Amazon EasyShip is that you gain access to a fast and convenient Amazon-powered delivery service, which can deliver your products all over South Africa. So all orders will also be 100% trackable to both you and the customer, providing a greater sense of ease to both stakeholders. So the customer can track the order every step of the way. You can also see the order getting to the customer every step of the way. So we focus on your deliveries while you focus on your business. Cool. And then lastly, we have self-ship. So self-ship is the option where you as a selling partner will store, pick, pack, and deliver the products to the customer yourself using your own delivery network. So you would have to arrange that and manage that within Seller Central yourself. So basically, you're just using Amazon as a platform to gain visibility to the customer base and allowing more customers to purchase your item. But when orders comes through, you basically fulfill and take care of those orders yourself without any influence by Amazon per se. Cool. So the advantages of self-ship is you gain visibility to the customer base that Amazon has, because your product will be on our website, visible to all of the customers that use Amazon. You have the flexibility to use your own delivery associates or courier services. You also have the option to set your own shipping rates and prices per region, and anywhere in South Africa, you can configure that to basically set what the prices will be when you ship a product out to the customer yourself. So that is just an overview of all three fulfillment options, we will now take a look at the features that each fulfillment option basically offers. So starting with fulfillment by Amazon, again, you will see that you as a seller are only responsible for inbounding your products to our FC using the send to Amazon process. Again, if you want to know more about that, do take a look at the Fulfillment by Amazon webinars, past webinars, or basically register for the upcoming ones, and that will give you great detail on how you can go about doing that correctly. And then once you inbound your products to Amazon, we then take care of storing it, packaging, shipping it to the customer. We take care of customer service and customer returns. So basically, we take care of all of those things, and you as selling just need to ship it to us, and the rest will then be taken care of. Right? So that's FBA. Then we have EasyShip. Now with EasyShip, you can see that you as a selling partner have a little bit more control when you are on the EasyShip ship fulfillment option, because you would go ahead and store your product. You will take care of packaging your product and then handing it over to Amazon, who will then take care of the shipping and delivering of your product. And then you as a selling partner will manage customer service and customer returns. Right? So how that works for customer service and customer returns essentially is the customer will reach out to our customer service team. Our customer service team will then refer them to you through the buyer seller messaging platform. You will then receive messages from the buyer, and you would then go ahead and respond to that and sort of resolve whichever situation is going on. Same with customer returns. You as a selling partner would have to manage that, meaning that the customer will go ahead and ship the product back to you. You would have to then go ahead and process the return. So that is EasyShip. And then SelfShip, you will see that you as a selling partner has full control of the entire operation. So everything from storing, packaging, shipping, customer service, and customer returns is all managed by you as a selling partner. Cool. So let's look at how you can leverage the various fulfillment options in a complementary way and things that you need to consider when choosing a fulfillment option for you. So the one important thing to note is that you can use FBA and EasyShip together with SelfShip concurrently. You are not restricted by what fulfillment channel you use, and you need to select the fulfillment channel that best suits your business. So what you would need to consider, you would need to consider factors such as scalability, integration capabilities into Amazon's fulfillment network, your overall budget, pricing models, and those are some of the things you want to keep in mind when choosing an option for your business. So FBA is applicable when you are receiving higher order volumes due to fast moving items and want better control over peak volume seasons. Now, peak seasons generally bring about an increase in order volumes, and depending on the size and capacity of your business, it can become a challenge with having to pack and manage each order individually. And that's when FBA can come in handy, as Amazon can reduce any potential bottlenecks by seamlessly fulfilling each of those orders in a timely manner. Right? It will also limit costs that comes with human resources and technology and infrastructure required to manage the orders. And by allowing you to basically tap into the expertise and technology that Amazon offers, you can also ship your products further, so all over South Africa, which allows you access to a wider customer base as well. So those are the things that FBA is ideal for. So let's take a look at what EasyShip would then be ideal for. So if you are using EasyShip, it's ideal for if you have your own warehouse for storing. However, you don't have a reliable or existing delivery infrastructure to make use of. And that's when you can then make use of Amazon's network of carriers. You will have more control over flexibility of your inventory because you're storing it, so you can basically keep an eye on that. And lastly, if you receive lower order volumes due to slower moving items, that will be a little bit easier to manage, because you have to basically, with EasyShip, you will have to pack and store and schedule the handover. So if you're receiving a large order volume, it can be a little bit difficult to manage all of that if you don't have the resources. And that's when you would want to consider moving that particular listing or item to FBA, because then it can be fulfilled seamlessly. And again, it will reduce any sort of bottlenecks that could potentially occur. Now, you do have the choice of using FBA and EasyShip simultaneously, so you can have one item on both FBA and EasyShip. Now, there's a great piece in the FBA webinar that they cover how you can go about doing this. So do give that a view, because ultimately it can benefit you if you have items that you would like to fulfill both through EasyShip and FBA. right? Now, at the very bottom of this page, you can find a link for the FBA fees if you want to know more about what costs are incorporated into FBA and what you would be paying as a selling partner. Click on that link and you can view what the fees would be for your business. Cool. So that is the fulfillment options in general with Amazon. So now let's dive into EasyShip in more specifically, basically. Sorry. Cool. So what is EasyShip? So basically, as a selling partner, when you register for the professional selling plan, by default, you will be enrolled into Amazon EasyShip if your registered address falls within the coverage range. So to find out if your address falls within that range, you can click on the link within the slide. It will then take you to a page where you can see what if your postal code is eligible for EasyShip. If your postal code is not eligible for Amazon EasyShip and you are not in FBA, you would then default to self-ship. And in the event you default to self-ship, you would then have to go ahead and ship those products to the customer yourself. Now, it's important to note that when EasyShip is active on your account, any items that is listed within your catalog which qualifies for Amazon EasyShip will be required to be shipped through Amazon EasyShip. So when you receive an order and it's assigned to Amazon EasyShip, you have to use Amazon's carrier service, the label that's provided within Seller Central. You cannot ship that product to the customer using your own carrier network because that will impact the updates of that particular order, because on EasyShip, the tracking number that is assigned to that package is the only one that can update that particular package. I hope that makes sense. But ultimately, if you have an EasyShip order, you have to fulfill it using Amazon EasyShip. Now, in Amazon EasyShip, there's two primary ways an item can be fulfilled, and these are called program models. So program models is the way in which the orders you receive will be fulfilled through Amazon EasyShip. Now we have pickup and we have drop off. So these are the two models that's available within Amazon EasyShip. Now all sellers are automatically being placed on the pickup model. So what that means is that a carrier will come to your registered EasyShip address to come and collect that package from you. And only sellers that falls with outside of the pickup coverage area will be defaulted to the drop-off model. Now, you as a selling partner can't choose which program model is assigned to your account, as that is done automatically based on your address. So once you're scheduling the order, you will see whether you're on a pickup or a drop-off. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to share a link in the chat right now. Just allow me a second. So this link basically takes you to the EasyShip settings page on your account. Now, what you can do is you would be able to check if the collection address is 100% correct. Now, it's important to know that the business address that you set on your account is not the same as your EasyShip address. These are two separate addresses. Now, you have to ensure that the collection address is the one that you're going to be using as a home base for the collections. You can only have one address. You have multiple addresses registered for the collection address. But let me go ahead and drop that link in the chat. So when you have a moment, please click on this link, view what your address is, if there's an active phone number, because of course they will be using that. The carrier team will be using that to confirm collections. Cool. So with a pickup model, essentially a driver will come to your registered address to come and collect it during the slot that you selected when scheduling the handover, right? So you are given two slots. It's between 8 and 1 and 1 and 5. So between those two periods, depending on which you selected, your package would need to be ready and the driver will come and collect it from you. Then you have the drop-off model. So in the drop-off model, essentially what you would need to do is find an authorized drop-off location for the assigned carrier and go ahead and drop that off before the ship by date or within the window that you're selecting during the scheduling process. Now, should your address be outside the coverage area, you will be defaulted to self-ship once again. So that means you would then have to go ahead and ship the product to the customer yourself. Cool. So another last important point for drop-off and pickup, the carrier that is assigned for your orders is also done automatically, and it's not something that you would be able to choose. So the carriers that we use is DPD Laser and TCG, the courier guy. So either one of those carriers will be assigned to your order. And depending on who it is, if you're on the drop off, you would need to find one of those locations for either the courier guy or DPD Laser. And then pickups, you will TCG or DPD will come and collect it from you. Cool. So now let's take a look at the product eligibility. So what items can be shipped through Amazon Easy Ship? Because currently, you as a selling partner can add items to Amazon that does not qualify for Amazon Easy Ship. So there is a certain criteria that the item is required to meet before it can be assigned to Amazon Easy Ship. So let's take a look at what that criteria is. So the first thing you want to take note of is the dimensions. So if your item's dimensions exceeds 175 centimeters in either length, width, or height, it won't be eligible for Amazon Easy Ship, right? And then the second thing is the girth. So if the girth exceeds 419 centimeters, it won't be allowed on Amazon Easy Ship. So basically, how you calculate the girth is you take the height, you multiply that by 2, and then you add it to the width multiplied by 2. If it exceeds 419, then it will default to self-ship. Then also, any item that weighs more than 50 kilograms won't be allowed on Amazon Easy Ship, as that's considered a heavy, bulky item. And heavy, bulky items isn't a feature that's included yet in Amazon Easy Ship. Then Amazon Easy Ship does support hazmat goods. However, there is certain dangerous goods such as explosive, infectious substances, radioactive material, and items containing toxic gases, which aren't allowed to be shipped on Amazon Easy Ship. So if you would like to know more information about the specific criteria for each of those, explosive, infectious substances, radioactive material, the specific criteria of that, you can click on the link in the slide. It will take you to a very helpful page that outlines all of that details for you. Now, again, should your item not meet any of these criteria, it will default to self-ship instead of Easy Ship. So what that means is you would have to go ahead and ship that product to the customer yourself. So it's important to understand what items will or will not qualify for Amazon Easy Ship, so you can set up a self-ship plan for those particular items. Because canceling self-shipped orders because you're not set up to do self-ship will also impact your account health, right? So very important. But now that we understand basically who's eligible and what products are eligible, let's take a look at the process in more detail, right? So there's essentially 4 steps to Amazon Easy Ship. So the first thing is the customer, of course, will place the order. What would happen is you would receive a notification alerting you that the order has been placed. Thereafter, you would then need to go onto Seller Central and schedule a handover. Now, within the handover, you will be requested to confirm specific details on that particular package. You would also need to select the time slot for which you would like your package to be collected. And then it will also show you which carrier has been assigned to your particular package and the program model that's been assigned to your particular package or your account. Now, because all selling partners are on pickup, you will see that your package will qualify for pickup. But in the event that you are on a drop-off, you will see that you are on a drop-off model. I'll show you how that will look later in the presentation. Cool. So after you schedule the handover, you would then need to prepare the package by printing the shipping label provided, adding any additional packaging labels that is required based on the product itself, and then also just generally using the Amazon general packaging guidelines to ensure that the package is packaged securely. And thereafter, you would then need to just wait for the collection window where the driver will come, and you will then hand over that order to the driver. Now, it's important to note that from the time frame in which the customer places the order to when it needs to be handed over is determined by the handling time set on the account. Now, we know that the handling time on the account is 1 business day. So what that means is you have 24 hours to schedule and drop off that package or hand over that package to the carrier that's assigned. Now, the handling or leadership time is, so the handling or leadership time is important to know because basically, if you are not able to manage that 1 day handling time and you miss that window, it will impact your account health. Now, you can go ahead and adjust your handling time from 1 business day on an account level to 2 business days. So that will affect all of your listings. So basically, instead of having 1 day, you will now have 2 days. Now, we'll show you how that process looks. And if you require more than 2 days, you can then go and extend that further on a product level. So let's say you have a product that you need to source from a particular location, but it will take you 3 or 4 days to basically get that product. You can extend the handling time for that item itself to 4 to 5 days to basically mitigate that time frame you need to basically receive that items. Now, it's important that you don't set a handling time that's too far away or give yourself too big of a buffer to prepare your orders. The reason being is because the handling time directly impacts the delivery date that is shown to the customer when they're placing the order. Now, we know that customers love fast deliveries or quick deliveries. So if you have a handling time that's too long, it might deter a customer from placing that order because they might be able to receive it faster elsewhere. So you have to set a handling time that you can manage, but at the same time is fast enough to keep customers interested in purchasing your product, right? So, and meeting your handling time also helps your Seller Central account performance remain healthy and mitigates from any late deliveries or potential cancellations. So it's beneficial to account performance and metrics if you understand how to sort of change or manage your handling time on your account. So let's take a look at how this looks within Seller Central. So the first thing you would want to do is you would want to go to your shipping settings page. You can go there by clicking on the gear icon within Seller Central. From there, you will then go to the general shipping settings tab as shown in the image on the top right. You will then find the box that says handling time. You will click on edit. You can then amend that 1 day to 2 days. And that takes effect on an account level. Now, if you need more than 2 business days, what you would then do is you would go to your manage inventory page, find the items that you require a little bit more time for, click on edit on the far right-hand side of the page, find the handling time option, and then you can add the amount of time that you need for that particular product itself. Now, you are able to do this one by one, or you can do it in bulk. What I would recommend is searching for the managing or modifying handling time help page. It basically gives you a step-by-step process on how you can do that in bulk using the listing loader. Right? But if you only have certain products that you would like to extend, you can do that one by one just by finding those particular listings and then editing that handling time. Right? Now, it is important to note that you are able to drop off items before the ship by date. Right? So if you have a handling time of 5 business days, let's say, and you are able to prepare your item within 1 day, you can prepare that order and ship it out before that 5-day period has elapsed. You just need to schedule that handover within Seller Central whenever you're ready, and you can then go ahead and basically ship that product out to the customer. So that is how you can go about changing your handling time, which is very important because, of course, it ensures that you're not shipping out any products late. So let's look at now each step basically in more detail. So the first step is the customer will place the order. So once the customer places the order, you will see the following notification. So besides the email that you will receive, when you open Seller Central, you will see that there's a message that's saying you have a certain amount of items that needs to be attended to. You will also see that in the open orders box, you will have a number there for the amount of orders that you have. And once you click on either of those two messages, it will take you to the manage your orders page, where you can then see that those orders would have either been easy ship or self ship, depending on which tab they're in. And if they're in the easy ship tab, you will see them under the unshipped section of that particular tab, right? So that's once the customer places the order. The next step you need to follow is basically scheduling the handover. So if you scroll down on the manage your orders page, you will see the following, which is basically the items that's being purchased, the order number. Then there's a button on the far right that says schedule handover. What you will do is you will click on schedule handover. It will then take you through a workflow whereby you would need to confirm the package weight, the package dimensions, and a package identifier is included there for you. But if you have something that you would like to use, you can change that to one which works for you. And then you will click on Get Slots. From Get Slots, you would then be given the available collection windows that's available. And you can then go ahead and select which one would be most convenient for you. And then you can confirm. Once you confirm, you would then get the message at the very bottom saying print shipping label. You would then print that shipping label, and you would then use that when you're preparing your package for handover. But another important thing about scheduling your handover is this is where you'll be shown who the carrier will be and what program model you are on. So let's say you are on a drop-off model. You will see the message on the left, which basically says pending drop-off. You would also see that during the scheduling process, it will show that the label itself is a drop-off label. So if it's DPD, it'll say DPD drop-off. If it's TCG, it'll say TCG drop-off. So you will know that it is a drop-off, right? And then that's the message you will see. It will say pending drop-off once you've scheduled the handover. So if it shows pending drop-off, you would need to find an authorized drop-off location of either TCG, the courier guy, or DPD laser, and then hand it over by the ship by date or during the slot you selected. Now, if it's on a pickup, you will see waiting for pickup. And basically all you would need to do is just ensure that your package is ready at the start of the window. So remember, the windows is 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So if you chose the morning slot, your package needs to be ready by 8. You chose the afternoon slot, your package needs to be ready by 1. Another important fact about scheduling a handover is that you have until 12 o'clock in the afternoon to get the same day slot. So let's say your package is due for collection today. You would have had up until 12 o'clock this afternoon to basically schedule a collection for today. Anything after 12 o'clock will the next 2 days will only be available for collection. So if you know you have an order that needs to ship out today, it's important that you schedule that order before 12 o'clock that same day to ensure that that package does not run late, right? So after you've scheduled the handover and you print the label, that is when you would now need to prepare the package. Now, there are a few basic requirements when packaging an item for Amazon EasyShip, which helps increase the product safety basically during transit. So the first thing you would need to do is ensure that the box being used is not too big for the product, because this can cause the product to move around and get damaged during transit. So the product to parcel ratio should be reasonable, right? So that there's just enough room for the product to not be moving around too much, but just so that it's stable and can have some protective packaging material like bubble wrap, etc. Yeah. Then the parcel should be secured using the H taping method shown on the picture in the slide. So this refers to taping each side as well as across the center opening. So basically, so the parcel is sealed without any gaps, and you should use a quality packaging tape at least 2 inches wide, right? Ensure the label is of good quality, as this will prevent any issues with it being scanned by our partner carriers. So yeah, so good quality label paper. And then also, depending on the item that you're shipping, let's say it's a fragile item or it's a glass item or any different categories that we have, there is a page that shows you how you can go about packaging each of those particular categories to ensure that they arrive at the customer in a safe and in good condition, basically. Right, so do click on that link, give it a read. And also, if you see that it is something that you are shipping out or a product that you are shipping out, try your best as much as possible to follow that guidelines, as it does ensure that your product is safe during transition. Cool. So when it comes to pasting the label on the box or on the package, you have to paste it on the largest flat surface of the package. So the label should not be folded. It has to be on the largest flat surface of the box as shown in the image on the far right. Right, so you can see that the first 2 examples is incorrect because it's pasted on a fold and then it's also pasted on the shorter side. So it has to be on the largest flat side of the box, right? As shown in that third image. And the box that you're using or the packaging material must be plain, self-branded, supplied by the manufacturer or the courier. Now that is very important because any boxes that does not meet that particular criteria can be rejected by the carrier. So to ensure that your packages are always being shipped out on time, ensure that the boxes that you're using is plain, self-branded, supplied by the manufacturer or the courier. Now there are times that you won't be using a box, you might be using a bag. Now the same applies to a bag as well. You would want to paste that label in the middle of that bag. You don't want it to be close to any folds or close to any edges. Right? The label must maintain its integrity so that of course it can be scanned during the transition from your warehouse to the customer. Right? So that is preparing your package. So the last step is handing your order over to the carrier. Now, that does depend again on the model that you are on. So if you are on a pickup model, you would only need to ensure that the package is ready and available to be handed over during the window that you selected. Right? Now, if you are on a drop-off, that is when, depending on who is assigned, so either the courier guy or DPD laser, you would then need to go to their website by clicking on the links available in this chat. That will then take you to a service point locator where you can find the authorized drop-off points for those particular carriers. Now, we are going to look at that now. So for TCG, or the courier guy, you can see that if you click on that link, you will be taken to the image on the left where you will see all of the available kiosks. So we only allow drop-off at kiosks. So you will see all the available kiosks. You will then filter using your address, and then you will find more specific locations for you. You can then drop it off at any of those locations that is close by or convenient for you. And likewise with DPD, as you can see on the right, you would then filter using your address and you would find the branch that you would then go ahead and drop off that package to. Right? So it's important that you are dropping off that package during the window that you selected. So if it's between 1 and 5, so that's the drop-off window. It's always 1 and 5. 1 in the afternoon until 5 in the afternoon, evening, sorry. You can then go ahead and ensure that it's handed over on that day, because if you drop it off a day later, it will impact your late shipment rate. Cool. So that is the easy ship process in a nutshell. Now we are going to go and into the rates and the fees, but before I do that, I just want to recap what we've touched on so far. So firstly, we looked at who's eligible, what products are eligible. We then took a look at the process itself. So just to recap, it's the customer will place the order, you will schedule the handover, you will prepare the package, and then you will hand over that package to the carrier. Another important thing we discussed is handling time. So you have to ensure that the handling time on your account is one that you can manage as a seller. So currently it's 1 business day, and you can change it to 2 business days or extend it on a product level. So that is what we've covered so far. I hope it was clear. If you have any questions, I hope it's all in the chat right now, because we will be covering that very soon. But now let's go into the rates and fees. Cool. So when you receive an order which is below 500 Rand and between 0 and 50 kilograms, the easy ship fee that you will be charged is 20 Rand excluding VAT. So with VAT, it's 23 Rand. So it doesn't matter what the weight is. If it's below 500 Rand in value, you will only be charged a flat rate of 23 Rand, right? So it should be noted that you will see an additional 70 Rand. However, this 70 Rand refers to the cost that's incurred to the customer, or incurred by the customer that is placing the order below 500 Rand through Amazon EasyShip. This is not a cost that you incur as a buyer. Rather, it's paid by the customer when they pay for their order. So you as a selling partner will only be charged the standard EasyShip pricing. In this case, if the order is below 500 Rand and between 0 and 50 kilograms, you will be charged 20 Rand excluding that. Now, when the item goes above 500 Rand, that's when you would see the change in the fulfillment fee associated with EasyShip, depending on the weight. So let's just say the weight is between 0 and 250 grams and the order is above 500 Rand, you will then be charged 43 Rand. Now, if it's between 251 and 500 grams and above 500 Rand, you'll be charged 44 Rand, etc., up until 30 kilograms. So you can see for the table, it goes up to 30 kilograms. But Amazon EasyShip supports up to 50 kilograms. So after the 30 kilogram price, you will then add a 5 Rand for every additional kilogram thereafter, up until 50 kilograms. And that is the standard EasyShip pricing for Amazon EasyShip for you as a selling partner. If you want further clarity on the pricing, you can search EasyShip rates and fees within the help pages, and that will basically show you exactly what the pricing is for Cool. So now we are moving over to self-ship. Yes, apologies, guys. I realized we might have been experiencing a little bit of connectivity issues. I hope you can hear me, and I hope I'm audible. Um, but okay, cool. So just to recap on this, so basically the fees that will be charged is based on the weight and the price of the item itself. So above 500 Rand, you can see the table there will show you what you will be charged based on the weight. And then anything above 30 kilograms or 30,000 grams, you will be charged an additional 5 Rand for every kilogram thereafter. Right? Cool. So that is EasyShip. Now, we did mention that there are times when the item itself does not meet EasyShip eligibility or your registered address does not fall within EasyShip coverage. In that case, you would be required to self-ship the items to the customer yourself if you are not making use of FBA. So it's important that you do set yourself up for self-ship to ensure that if an order comes through as self-ship, you are able to fulfill them. Cool. So let's take a look at that process. So the first thing you would want to do when setting up self-ship is you want to create a shipping template. Now, a shipping template is where you can set the rates, transit times, and areas this template would basically apply to. So with the template, you have a choice of using 3 shipping options, that being standard, next day, and expedited. Right? So you will see those 3 options, and you can then configure them based on the performance of your carrier. So if you know you're using a carrier that cannot do next day, you will deactivate next day. If you are using a carrier that cannot meet the speed for expedited, you will then remove expedited, and you will only have the standard template over there. Yeah, so when setting up the transit time and ship options, it's important that you have an understanding of the performance of the carrier you're using to deliver the items, because you want to set a real expectation as to when the customer would be receiving their item to ensure that you are meeting that delivery promise. Now, you can click on the link within the slide. It will take you to a help page which outlines shipping templates, what you can do, how you can configure them. But we will also take a look at that process in the next slide. Uh, cool. So once you've configured a template and you set it up, you would then need to assign that template to your listings. Because once you've assigned it to your listings, that is when that criteria that you set on that template would then apply to that particular items. So it should be noted that you can either assign the templates to your listings one by one, and then you can do that through the manage your inventory page, or alternatively, you can do this in bulk by following the whole page that link is linked to. It shows you how you can go about doing that, right? So if you downloaded the PDF in the chat, you should have access to clicking on that link. And then the last thing you would want to do, like EasyShip, you would need to configure the handling time on your account, because by default, self-ship also has a 1-day handling time. So if you get an order today, you would need to confirm the shipment within 1 day, and then uh, basically the transit time would then be set on your template. So if you have a handling time of 1 day, you have to confirm shipment the next day. So you can set that to 2 days, or you can further extend that on a product level, the same as you would on EasyShip. Cool. So let's look how this process looks on Seller Central when setting up a template. So the first thing you'd want to do is you would want to go to the shipping settings page. So that's the gear icon. You click on shipping settings. But instead of going to the general shipping settings, you will go to the shipping templates. And from there, you can either click on create a new template or select the pre-existing migrated template and click on edit. You will then have the option of setting your rates based on per item weight or price banded. So the per item weight allows you to set a base shipping rate per item and then add an additional fee per gram or kilogram. And then price banded allows you to set the shipping rates based on the value of the items being purchased. Right. So as we can see from the image in the slide, you can see that for the per item weight, we set a base rate of 40 Rand, and then we're adding an additional 6 Rand per kilogram. And in price banded, we set the values between 0 and 500 would be a certain shipping price, and then 501 Rand above would have a different shipping price. So for me, I'm leaving that as free, but you have the choice of going ahead and adding whichever value you would like, or to charge the customer for shipping that product self-ship, right? So that is what you could do. And then in the region section, you can click on edit, and you can then basically configure every region within South Africa. So let's say you want a specific price for the Western Cape. You would click on edit, you would deactivate South Africa, you would only click on Western Cape, and then that South Africa there would change to Western Cape, and then you can basically set the price for if you're shipping items to the Western Cape. And then once you do that, you can add another region, and you can then basically configure every region within South Africa. So depending on where you're shipping to, the price will change, and where the customer is based, basically. So do give that a look by clicking on that link and basically setting up those templates, right? Because if you don't, and a self-ship order comes through, the shipping will be free, and it can be ordered from any location. So you would have to go ahead and ship it there. So 100% make sure you are updating your templates. Cool. So let's look at the self-ship process in itself. So like EasyShip, the first step would be the customer would place the order. You would then need to prepare the package in the same way you would for Amazon EasyShip, using the Amazon general packaging guidelines. You would then need to hand that package over to your carrier that you would then organize and sort of arrange. And then once you've arranged it and handed it over, and the carrier provided you with a tracking number, you can then go ahead and confirm the shipment within Seller Central. So how does that look? So essentially, as you can see, when you get a self-ship order, the first thing you will notice is that it would go under the self-ship tab. So at the very top, you will see that there's a number 1 by the self-ship tab. So we already know that, okay, cool, it came through the self-ship portal, so I have to ship this item myself. Now, once you've prepared the package and then handed it over to your carrier, you can then click on confirm shipment. Now, once you click on confirm shipment, you will then be taken to a workflow where you confirm the ship by date, the carrier that you are using, the service that you are using, so whether it was expedited, premium, or standard, and then also a valid tracking ID. Now, that's very important that you do add a tracking ID that the customer can go ahead and use to track that particular package. All right? Because if you are not adding a valid tracking ID over there, or using a carrier that doesn't provide valid tracking IDs, let's say, for example, you dropping that package off yourself, which it isn't trackable. So basically, the customers will reach out to you, or you have a higher chance of customers reaching out to you because they would want to know where their packages are and when they can expect to receive it. And you have to respond to those messages within 24 hours, or it will basically it will impact your account health, right? Now, I am being a little bit mindful of the time, and I really want to get to the questions that you have in a live that you've been asking throughout this presentation. So there is 3 slides here dedicated to some frequently asked questions. Now, if you've downloaded the PDF in the chat, you can take a look at those offline. You can basically review those questions and take a look at that. But what I want you to go ahead and do right now is show you how you can start learning within Seller Central. So what you would go ahead and do is you would click on the hamburger menu in the top right, go to Learn, click on Seller University. The first thing you want to do is, of course, bookmark it so it's always available to you. You can then reorder your bookmarks. You can then click on that link again, and it will basically take you to a page where you can browse the various topics where we have some educational material. And depending on your needs, you can then view and use that as a resource. Now, it definitely can help with setting you up for success on Amazon. I'm going to take a look at what questions we have so far. So I see here that the first question we have, does the label have to stick on the packaging? Yes, 100%. So the label has to be fully appended to the package, so it has to be pasted flat. It cannot be stuck onto it or be loose in any way, as that could cause, when during transition, basically that label could be removed, get lost, and then ultimately you won't receive any further updates on your package if they cannot scan that particular label. Have people started their Amazon business in South Africa? Just so Amazon is live within South Africa. Amazon business in itself is not a service that we have available as yet. No, but you can start selling on Amazon. So can we begin Amazon in South Africa if not ready? So if you are not ready, I would encourage you to look through all the resources and get yourself as ready as possible using that launch ready slide that we have, because ultimately we are live and you can go ahead and list your products and make sales on Amazon. So I would encourage you to get yourself ready and then go ahead and list your products on Amazon. Where can we watch and refer to today's webinar? So ultimately, you can go to the YouTube channel. The link is in the chat of this webinar. That will take you to our YouTube page where you can find a version of this particular webinar. It might not be this one in particular, but it's one where we cover the very same topics. Is it true that sellers in South Africa will begin in September? No, you are able to start selling on Amazon from today. So when we launched on the 7th of May, that's when all sellers could begin their journey on Amazon as well. I got a question here. I got an order last week, but I had to ship it myself, and Easy Ship was not an option. Right. So there is two situations where that could occur. It's either the item itself was not eligible for Amazon Easy Ship, so it did not meet that criteria, or the address itself is not within the Easy Ship coverage area. Now, I'm not able to give you specifics on what that could be. What I would recommend you do is reach out to seller support, let them know that this is happening. Of course, they will then take a look into it and can provide you with a more detailed explanation on why that particular item shifted over to self-ship instead of Easy Ship. Right? How can I change from Easy Ship to FBA? Good question. So when going to manage your inventory page, you can basically find that product in question. And on the near right-hand side, you will see the option of edit. Now, you will click on edit. You will see a drop-down option where if you click on it, you would get the option to change to fulfillment by Amazon. Now, when you click on change to fulfillment by Amazon, you will then be taken through a workflow where you can start the send to Amazon process, right? So just a quick recap, you find the product that you're looking at, you click on edit, you add another condition, you then click change to fulfilled by Amazon, and then you can then go through the send to Amazon process. Can I sell to another country of Africa? So if you are listed or registered for Amazon South Africa, you can only sell within Amazon South Africa. So international customers can place orders, but they have to ship it within South Africa. If you would like to sell outside of Africa, the marketplace has to be available for that particular place. So let's say another country within Africa. Let's see. Egypt. Yeah, so you can create an account with Amazon Egypt, and you can basically sell there. But if the country itself doesn't have an Amazon store, then at this point, no, you won't be able to sell to that particular country. Can you sell certain products on FBA and others on Easy Ship or Self Ship? Yes, you can. So you can use FBA and Easy Ship concurrently. You can also choose to put some of your listings on FBA and then leave others on Easy Ship. So that is basically when you're listing your product, you have the choice of how you would like that to be fulfilled. So certain products you can select, I want this fulfilled by Amazon, and then others you can say, I would like to ship that myself. So that will separate those particular items for you. You can also have listings on FBA and Easy Ship, the same listing. That is more beneficial for when you because FBA is limited in capacity in what you can send through to them. So I know it's 350 units at the moment. So let's say you have 500 units. You can send the 350 to FBA and then keep the other 150 on Easy Ship. So when that 350 runs out in FBA, you can then still ship out that product using Easy Ship and then just replenish the FBA stock as well. So you can basically cover yourself should the FBA listing run out of inventory or could get sold out very quickly. But cool. So that is all the questions for today. I do want to thank you all for coming through today, and I hope that the session was helpful and informative. And if, of course, you need any sort of support and assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to our seller support team. I would encourage that you provide, as always, as much information as possible so that they themselves can get the best understanding and, of course, help you to the best of their ability. So thank you all. It's been a great pleasure. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.